Did you know that most people who pass away shortly after turning 75 don't die from old age at all? They die from something far more preventable, something quiet, something that creeps in so slowly they don't even notice it happening until it's too late. And the heartbreaking truth is that it has almost nothing to do with genetics or luck. It has everything to do with 5 specific decisions they stopped making, 5 habits they let slip away, 5 parts of themselves they quietly surrendered without realizing those were the very things keeping them alive. If you're over 70, or if someone you love is, this might be the most important message you hear all year. Because what I'm about to share with you isn't about adding more doctor visits to your calendar or swallowing more pills. It's about understanding the invisible forces that either keep you vibrant, sharp, and strong well into your 80s and 90s, or quietly pull you under before you've even had a chance to enjoy the freedom you worked your whole life to reach. And here's the beautiful part. Every single one of these 5 factors is within your control. Every single one can be reversed, restored, or reignited starting today. So let's walk through them together, one by one, until you see exactly what's at stake and exactly what you need to protect. The first reason people fade after 75 is the loss of daily purpose. And I don't mean purpose in some grand, philosophical sense. I mean the simple, grounding feeling that you have a reason to get out of bed in the morning, that there is something you are here to do, someone you are here to be, a role that gives your day shape and meaning. For most of your life, that purpose was built into your routine. You went to work, you raised children, you cared for a home, you solved problems. You were needed. And even if those responsibilities were exhausting, they gave you structure, they gave you identity, they kept your mind engaged and your body moving. But then something shifts. You retire. Your children grow up and move away. Your responsibilities lighten. And suddenly, the days stretch out in front of you with no clear direction. At first, it feels like relief. Finally, time to rest. Time to do whatever you want. But after a few months, maybe a year, something changes. The relief turns into restlessness. The freedom starts to feel like emptiness. And without even realizing it, you begin to fade. Not because your body gave out, but because your spirit did. Here's what most people don't understand. Purpose is not just emotional comfort. It is biological medicine. When you have a reason to wake up, your nervous system stays active. Your immune system stays strong. Your brain keeps building new connections. Your heart keeps pumping with energy. Studies have shown that people who maintain a sense of purpose after 70 live longer, recover faster from illness, and experience significantly less cognitive decline. But when purpose disappears, everything slows down. Your appetite weakens, your energy drops, your memory starts slipping, and your body, sensing that it is no longer needed, begins to shut down. So, what does purpose look like after 75? It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to involve a career or a title. It can be as simple as tending a garden, writing letters to your grandchildren, volunteering at a local shelter, mentoring someone younger, teaching a skill you've spent decades perfecting, helping a neighbor, joining a group that meets weekly. The specific activity doesn't matter nearly as much as the feeling it creates. The feeling that you are contributing, that you are still learning, that you are still connected to the world in a meaningful way. That you matter. If you have lost your sense of purpose, I need you to hear this. It is not too late to find it again. But you have to be intentional. You have to ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? What would I do even if no one paid me or thanked me? What knowledge or kindness do I still have to offer? And then you have to act on it, even if it feels small, even if it feels silly, because filling your heart with meaning is what keeps your body running. Purpose is the rhythm that keeps everything else in motion. The second reason people decline rapidly after 75 is the loss of muscle strength and movement. And before you tell me that getting weaker is just part of aging, let me stop you right there. Muscle loss is not inevitable. Frailty is not a given. What happens to most people is not aging, it is inactivity. And there is a massive difference. Your muscles are designed to be used. When you stop using them, they shrink. And when they shrink, everything else starts to fall apart. Your heart has to work harder. Your balance deteriorates. Your bones become fragile. Simple tasks like standing up from a chair or walking to the mailbox become exhausting. And once you start avoiding movement because it feels hard, you enter a downward spiral that is incredibly difficult to escape. Here's the truth. Movement is the single strongest predictor of how long you will live and how well you will live. Not your cholesterol, not your weight, not even your blood pressure. Your ability to move your body with strength and confidence is what determines whether you stay independent or whether you end up reliant on others for basic care. And the good news is that even after 75, you can rebuild strength. You can regain balance. You can reverse muscle loss. But only if you move. I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting heavy weights at the gym. I'm talking about gentle, consistent movement that keeps your muscles engaged and your joints flexible. Chair squats, walking around your home, light resistance bands, stretching in the morning, lifting a few light objects throughout the day, standing up and sitting down repeatedly while you're on the phone. These small actions, done daily, send a powerful message to your body. They say, I still need you. I still depend on you. Stay strong. The moment you stop moving is the moment you start dying. That might sound harsh, but it's true. Your legs are your second heart. They pump blood back up to your brain and your organs. When they weaken, circulation slows. Oxygen delivery drops. Fatigue sets in. Cognitive function declines. And suddenly, you're not just physically weaker, you're mentally slower. You're emotionally flatter. You're less interested in life, all because you stopped moving. So if there is one thing you take from this message, let it be this. Move every single day. Not a lot, not intensely, but intentionally, consistently, with purpose. Because movement is medicine, and after 75, it might be the most powerful medicine you have. The third reason people fade is emotional isolation and the quiet shrinking of their social circles. Loneliness is not just sad, it is deadly. Chronic loneliness affects your body in the same way smoking does. It raises your stress hormones. It increases inflammation. It weakens your immune system. It makes you more vulnerable to infection, heart disease, depression, and cognitive decline. And after 75, loneliness becomes epidemic. Friends pass away, mobility decreases, energy drops, and slowly, without meaning to, people withdraw. They stop reaching out. They stop answering calls. They stop making plans. And they convince themselves that it's fine, that they don't need people the way they used to, that being alone is just easier. But here's what happens when you isolate. Your brain stops being stimulated, your mood flattens, your sense of time distorts. Days blur together, you lose track of what matters. And your body, sensing the lack of connection, begins to shut down. Because human beings are wired for connection. We are built to be seen, heard, and valued by others. When that disappears, our will to live diminishes. But when we maintain meaningful relationships, even simple ones, our bodies respond. Social interaction releases serotonin and oxytocin. It lowers blood pressure. It calms the nervous system. It strengthens memory. It reduces the risk of dementia by up to 70%. 70%. That is not a small number. That is life-changing. So if you have been pulling away from people, I need you to stop. Reach out. Call someone. Join a group. Volunteer. Attend a class. Go to a community center. Strike up a conversation with a neighbor. It doesn't have to be deep or complicated. Even brief, friendly interactions have measurable health benefits. A smile, a chat about the weather, a shared laugh. These moments matter more than you realize. They remind your body that you are still part of the world, that you are still valued. that you are still alive, and that reminder is what keeps you going. The fourth reason people decline after 75 is poor sleep and disrupted recovery. Sleep is when your body heals. It's when your brain flushes out toxins. It's when your heart rate and blood pressure reset. It's when your immune system rebuilds. Without deep, restorative sleep, none of that happens. And the result is slow, relentless deterioration. You wake up tired. You struggle to concentrate. You feel irritable. Your appetite changes, your balance worsens, your muscles ache, and you age faster than you should. But here's the problem. Most people over 70 don't realize their sleep is broken. They think waking up multiple times a night is normal. They think feeling tired all day is just part of being older. They accept fragmented, shallow sleep as inevitable. And they never address the habits that are stealing their rest. Napping too much during the day, drinking coffee in the afternoon, keeping the television on all night, taking medications that interfere with sleep cycles, eating heavy meals before bed, going to bed anxious or overstimulated. All of these things destroy sleep quality. And poor sleep accelerates every age-related disease. Heart disease, diabetes. People over 70 who sleep less than 6 hours a night have double the risk of serious health decline compared to those who sleep 7 to 8 hours. So what do? You treat sleep like the sacred, life-sustaining process it is. You create a routine. You go to bed at the same time every night. You dim the lights an hour before sleep. You keep your bedroom cool. You avoid alcohol, which might help you fall asleep but destroys the deep sleep you need to actually recover. You stop eating heavy meals late in the day. You turn off screens. You stretch gently. You read something calming. You let your nervous system wind down, and in the morning, you get sunlight. 10 to 15 minutes of natural light as early as possible resets your internal clock and helps you sleep better the next night. These are not luxuries, these are necessities. And when you honor them, your body rewards you with energy, clarity, and resilience. The fifth and final reason people fade after 75 is ignoring the small health signals their body sends. A little dizziness here, a bit of shortness of breath there, swelling in the ankles, persistent fatigue, a change in appetite. Most people brush these things off. They tell themselves it's nothing. It's just aging. It will pass. But after 75, your body doesn't have the same margin for error it used to. Small problems can become big problems very quickly. And by the time symptoms are obvious, the damage is often much harder to reverse. Ignoring your body is not brave. It's dangerous. And it's one of the most common reasons people decline rapidly. They avoid the doctor because they don't want to hear bad news. They skip checkups because they feel fine. They refuse to monitor their blood pressure, their blood sugar, their heart rhythm. And then one day, something gives. A fall, a stroke, a heart attack, a sudden collapse. And everyone says it came out of nowhere. But it didn't. The signs were there. They were just ignored. So listen to your body. Pay attention. If you're falling more often, get your balance and nerves checked. If you're losing your appetite, find out why. If you're feeling unusually tired, don't just accept it. Investigate. Get blood work done. Check your medications. Talk to your doctor honestly. Advocate for yourself. Because early detection saves lives, prevention is far more powerful than treatment. And your body is speaking to you constantly. The question is whether you're willing to listen. So here we are. 5 reasons people fade after 75. Loss of purpose, loss of movement, loss of connection, loss of sleep, loss of awareness, and every single one is preventable. Every single one is reversible. Every single one is a choice. Not a choice you make once, but a choice you make every single day. To find meaning, to move your body, to reach out, to rest deeply, to listen carefully. These are the things that keep you alive. Not just breathing, but truly alive. Sharp, strong, present, grateful. Your body after 75 doesn't need perfection. It needs attention. It needs kindness. It needs consistency. And it needs you to stop waiting for someone else to save it. Because no one else can. This is your life. These are your years. And they can be filled with vitality, joy, and purpose if you choose to protect what matters. So choose it. Starting today. Move. Connect. Sleep. Listen. Live. Not louder, not busier, but more intentionally, more fully, more alive. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment telling me which of these 5 spoke to you most, and subscribe so we can keep walking this path together. Because you deserve every moment of strength, clarity, and peace these years can hold. And I'm here to remind you of that as often as you need to hear it.